Colin Moriarty is a games journalist, video game journalist that I've been following for some years now. He, I want to say, started at IGN. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with IGN?
Yeah, it's just like a YouTube company kind of. They're not really just a channel, right? It's more of a company.
Right. They have their own website.
Yeah.
They've been around for, I want to say, since the late 90s.
Yeah, and they have a lot of YouTube videos and stuff too, though.
Yeah, they're considered the largest video game review website out there. And Colin Moriarty used to be one of the writers there. He had a PlayStation-based podcast called Beyond. He did that with Greg Miller. And they were at IGN from I want to say their deal went from 2007 to 2014. And 2014, they both left with a couple of other editors from IGN to start a YouTube channel / website called Kind of Funny. And they would pretty much do the same thing, but they didn't have IGN telling them what to do. Mm-hmm. So they branched out. They started their own thing a couple of years ago. And Colin Moriarty, he's kind of a colorful character. He doesn't get really he's not one of these guys that screams on camera or gets really really escalated as far as the things that he talks about, but he does have some polarizing opinions. I think one of the first things I ever saw him do on IGN that I'm like, wow, this is kind of out of the ordinary for games journalists to be talking about. But he was talking about how this is when Mass Effect 3 had... So Mass Effect 3, if you're not familiar, it had a really disappointing ending. And the whole point of the Mass Effect franchise was you start off with a character. He can be a jerk. He can be good. A lot of that morality based gameplay where your relationship with certain characters can go down one of several paths, and this would alter the storyline. And Mass Effect 3 came out, and this was going to be the ending of this particular story with Captain Shepard. And the ending, apparently, I'm trying to think of who developed it here, but the developer basically promised all of your choices up to this point will matter, it'll affect the ending. That wasn't the case at all. You got the same ending no matter how you played the game, and a lot of people were disappointed about it.
Colin Moriarty liked it.
Well, he didn't necessarily... I think he did like it. There were a lot of people that liked it that didn't have a big problem with it. What he had a problem with was there were people that honestly got online to sign petitions to have the developer change the ending, and they did through free DLC.
Really?
Yeah.
To give it another ending?
Yeah, an alternate ending. So
that's not too bad.
But he basically made this video, and it was just I'm so tired of gamers being entitled and feeling like they're allowed to control the creative project or creative, someone else's creation. It's you didn't make it, so you don't get to decide what happens with it. They do, because they're the creators. And it was a really well put together argument, and it was basically just saying you gamers are way too entitled at this point. So that was just kind of the first thing. He's notably very he brings up his political views quite often, as far as he's libertarian. He does have some I would say liberal social views as far as abortion goes and that kind of thing. So he's a mixture of different political views. So I don't agree with everything that he says, and all of that as a background. So he is leaving Kind of Funny Games. In fact, no, he's actually already left. That happened this week. And it all stemmed from something he tweeted out on International Women's Day, which I don't know if you're aware. There were also like protest events using the hashtag Day Without a Woman.
Please don't start me on that.
Well, we're probably going to get into it a little bit. So, and that was, of course, just in case people watching aren't aware, because I guess you're familiar with that. Women were, calling out of work to be like, prove a point. Like, this is how things are like without us. So, he tweeted out 4 words followed by the hashtag A Day Without a Woman.
Mm-hmm.
4 words. Those words were, and this is what led to him like having kind of funny games, like having to like come out and be like, "Oh, we don't agree with this tweet at all. We think this is really denigrating, and when we don't agree."
He was one of the
this.
founders of it, though. Right?
He's one of the founders, but Greg Miller put out like this whole long thing explaining it on how it was a joke, but it wasn't a good joke, so therefore it's offensive. He tweeted out, peace and quiet. Okay. Real sexist joke, right?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I told my wife what he tweeted out, and she had the same reaction. She was laughing for a good 30 seconds. She thought it was hilarious.
I love women, but they do talk a lot. And oh my goodness, call me a sexist pig, but they talk a lot.
It goes both ways here. Like women, I've heard women that I'm friends with say very derogatory things about men. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like men hear all the time, like, "Oh, we're stupid. We don't know anything. We don't know how to put like a."
That's so clever, though. Too. That's all the tweet said. Oh my god.
Peace and quiet. Hashtag A Day Without a Woman. His girlfriend thought it was funny.
Yeah.
In fact,
the dude who the company or whatever, they're taking it way too seriously too.
Yeah, and the thing is so he followed it up with another tweet, because someone basically said like, hey, I bet your girlfriend like slapped you after you tweeted that out, and he responded, "She's actually in bed next to me and thinks my blatantly obvious joke is funny because not all people are humorless sacks of fill in the blank." Yeah. Which is great. So he didn't back down. He didn't apologize for it.
No, I mean, there's nothing to apologize for.
But okay, like, I'm sorry, people. Like, I don't care. And I've heard some people argue, saying something like, "Oh well, there's no context for it on
there's
Twitter."
Plenty of context for it. The day itself was the context, right?
Here's the deal. This is what needs to start happening online. I know it's not gonna happen because people are incendiary. It takes the smallest little.
Don't offend me, Steven.
Exactly.
Don't offend me.
The smallest little thing starts a wildfire, and it's getting ridiculous. It's been ridiculous, but it's getting even worse. If you don't know the context of someone's tweet, you know what the wonderful thing about Twitter is? You can tweet at them and be like, "Hey man, did you mean that as a joke? Or like, are you going through a hard time? Like, what's going on?" Like, if you really want to know the context, if you really think someone's like, "Wow, somebody really hates women," how about you just ask him if you're not sure? Instead of being like, and the thing is, like, several people he worked with at IGN and other games journalists came out, they're just like, "Oh, gee, man, really cool for you to be standing up for women," or, "Hey, man, how is do you really want to be this kind of person?"
Oh my gosh.
Or, "Are you really helping Kind of Funny get the women demographic with tweets like this?" Like, just really stupid stuff. Like, can you not take a joke? Can you not understand where he's coming from at all?
I mean,
just, oh my goodness, like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's so dumb. Oh my goodness.
But he's apparently going to be striking out on his own. This may be
hashtag A Day Without Colin Moriarty.
A day without a Colin.
Yeah.
Or a day without Colin Moriarty. So it'll be interesting to see what he does next. You know, he might get out of games journalist and go into like more political commentary stuff, which would be fine. I can't get over how people and it seems to always spawn from Twitter these days.
Mm-hmm. The heart of darkness.
Yeah. It just seems like people
And Donald Trump.
People think Twitter is like, you know, the end all be all in 140 characters, like, you know, unless you say like the most uplifting thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It needs to stop. The outrage culture, I can't wait for this phase to be over. I hope it is a phase. And we could just get back to living normal lives.
Where people have their heads on like somewhat decent, like
where
it won't just pop off if they get like offended like a little bit. They'll just lose their
you can't take a joke like that. I mean, goodness, like some of the funniest jokes are offensive. I'm sorry, that's just how humor works.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like it's almost like if a joke doesn't have the potential to offend someone, someone in like this, like, okay, like say like someone's like a really big like wuss, like some of these people are acting like,
yeah,
so those are some of the best jokes, like the funniest ones, but you're not supposed to be that much of a baby, and you're not supposed to react to it that way. It's just supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be a joke.
You laugh at it, you move on. They're not meaning to like make someone like suicidal or feel bullied or anything like that. Like people people need to grow up. People need to get, you know, thick skin. And especially jokes like these between like men and women. Like, I'm sorry, I hear jokes all the time about men that are in the same vein, and no one says anything because, and why is that? Like, if you're gonna get offended by women being made fun of, well, then you need to be as equally offended when
equality, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. That is true equality.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want true equality, you can't say equal over here but not equal over here. Like it's not even both ways.
Saying making a joke about women talking too much, off limits. It's can't touch it.
Okay, fine. Then you know what? Stop the stupid commercials where it always shows the dad as being the absolute, you know, dumbest person on the planet when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
You know what? Like that needs to stop. But man, just calm down, people.
Come on,
please.
Moriarty, why do you hate women?
Why are you a woman hater? I bet you beat your girlfriend too.
I guess you could say that was a kind of funny joke.
And we're done.